Hello, and welcome back to the Marriagepreneurs Podcast. I am your host, LaKisa Taylor-Allston, and this again is a space where faith meets partnership, purpose meets passion, and legacy becomes a lifestyle. Today, we're diving into a topic. It's simple, powerful, and deeply intentional. Make love, build legacy, live life. Three phrases with three assignments, three pillars that can transform your marriage, your purpose, and your entire life. If you've been craving for more connection, more clarity, more joy, and more alignment, this episode is for you. So let's talk about making love, the power of intimacy. I want to start with, when I say make love, I'm talking about intimacy in every form: emotional, spiritual, physical, and relational. Making love is about choosing your connection over the conflict, presence over distraction, softness over survival mode, and vulnerability over pride. It's about creating a space where you both partners can feel seen, valued, and safe. We're talking about love, everybody. The making of love. Your emotional intimacy is where you share your heart, your fears, your dreams with each other, and your truths. Is where you actually should be the most vulnerable with your spouse. It says, I trust you with all of me, the parts of me that I may not show the world. Making love is about being spiritually intimate. That means praying together, seeking God together, and allowing your purpose together. It's the intimacy, the spiritual intimacy, is the glue that holds everything else in place. Also, maybe some of you's favorite part is the physical intimacy. The celebration of your connection is how we'll say it. The expression of your love and the reminder that your marriage is a covenant and not a contract. And hopefully you can be physically free with each other as you're expressing intimacy. And it's a reminder of one of the things and one of the reasons that you are supposed to be bonding and binding and cleaving together. There's also the daily intimacy of making love. It's the smaller things. It's the touch, the compliment, the moment that you still catch each other's eye. It's a shared laugh, or it's a moment where I know what you're saying, you know what I'm saying, I know what you mean, you know what I mean, without even the expression of words. It's just kind of like a rhythm, and it's not just an act. So when you're prioritizing all of these intimate areas in your life, you strengthen the foundation of everything else that you are actually building. Next, the legacy. Building the legacy is the assignment of partnership. So let's talk about this. We've talked about legacy a lot. It's not just about money. It's not just about property. And it's not just about the business. It's actually the values that go along with it that's at the forefront. The vision that you have, the faith, the character, the generational healing, wealth, and wisdom. That's why when I share my off-script stories, I'm talking about legacy and things that I learned. I shared about my grandparents. I shared about my godparents. I've shared about my own parents. Because at the end of the day, the things that make me the most successful in my marriage or business are actually the things that I learned from them, that were actually taught, and the lessons that you learned from just the learned behavior, from being around, being in their presence. That's the kind of legacy that matters and that will sustain you, your family, your children, and the people around you. Legacy is actually what you leave them. And that's more than what you can leave, the material possessions that you can leave to them. Legacy in marriage starts with how you love each other, your communication, how you resolve conflict, and how you show up for each other. Your marriage, again, is the blueprint for not only your children, your community, and other couples who may be watching you, who see something in you that inspires them, and it is part of your legacy of who you are that you're sharing. Legacy is in purpose. It's your gifts, your calling, your business, your ministry. These are just tools. But when you build with intention using those tools, you actually create something that outlives you. So that's a great way to look at legacy, is the things that you're doing on purpose. It is in the finances from a standpoint of stewardship, planning, investing, budgeting, building assets instead of just accumulating things. Couples who are legacy minded think about long term, not just month to month. And it's always also about stewardship and actually having the mindset to give and serve others, as we say in church, as God has given and blessed to you. Legacy is in the faith. Your spiritual walk becomes the inheritance your family benefits from. Your obedience becomes someone else's breakthrough. And finally, legacy in the community. It's also about how you are showing up and making an impact, how you give, and how you're showing up to the world. Building legacy is not just a moment, it's actually a lifestyle. And then I just want you to live life, lived with the gift and the joy of presence, of everything that God is giving you. Don't take things in your life that you may have access and opportunity for granted. Living your life that's the point of it all. It's the point of making love and building legacy. It's what you're actually doing, how you're actually living. Living life is about joy, the things that bring you joy, your presence. It's about savoring moments, again, that God gives to you. It's about living with intention, slowing down, being present. Be present for your spouse, for your family, for your friends. Enjoy the seasons that you're in. No matter how tough, it's always someone else worse off than you. Even if it feels stretching, even if it feels stressing, even if it's tough, just live with intention and know that you will get through. Live with joy. Joy is not the absence of problems, because troubles will be with us always. Joy is the presence of God. And if you find yourself in deep trouble, dwell in His presence. Be still with Him. Choose to be grateful, to give thanks. Choose to laugh. Choose to find people who bring you joy, being close to them. Choose to be in the light, to literally walk in the light and seek more positive things, because all of us know there are trouble everywhere. There is trouble everywhere we go. Anyone can find fault with us. Anyone could be trying to make life more difficult for us. But if God has a plan for you, and I know that He does, you continue to seek Him and walk in that light. Live with adventure. We're talking about living life. Try new things. Try new things with your spouse. 2 is better than 1, not just for business, but also for the purpose of companionship and this love that we're talking about. Travel. Remember and don't forget to date each other, to court each other, to flirt with each other, to dream out loud together. The dreams didn't die on the wedding day or the honeymoon. Continue to dream together and love together. Continue to create memories and stories that you can tell people or each other for years. Continue to live well. Be restful. Rest in holiness. Be productive and be necessary. This is also the places where, believe it or not, you find rest. We talked about self-evaluation, self-assessment. You have to spend time with yourself so that you can make sure that you're on track, in alignment, knowing who you are, knowing your purpose. And then you can live with rest and peace with everything else that you're doing. And I, of course, say, and like I said, my rebel self, live with freedom. Release the pressure to be perfect, or release comparison from other people. Release timelines. Life is meant to be lived, not performed. And again, if you have an entrepreneurial mindset like myself, I've always felt that way, that I wanted to live and do life on my own terms. And with that, I've been able to have several businesses. Some have been successful, some have not been successful. But everything that I've done has been about my sharing my gifts and living on my terms and doing any and everything that God has designed for me to do in the places where He has designed for me to be. So when you put all these pillars together, it's a beautiful thing. You can make love by strengthening your connection. When you build legacy, you strengthen your purpose. And when you live life, you strengthen your joy. The connection, the purpose, and the joy, they're meant to all work together to create a beautiful space for you, to create a marriage that is not just surviving, but thriving. You want to be in a marriage that is not just functional, it's flourishing. And it's not just about being committed, it's about being aligned. And I think you get the full enjoyment of marriage when you are in alignment with each other. And that is one of the things that I really want to make an impression about people on, because I know that there's a lot of negative talk in the atmosphere on social media about negative side of marriage. The toxic marriages seem to have control of the airways, but there are people out there in healthy marriages and strong marriages and loving marriages, and mostly because they have been able to be aligned in their marriage. So as you move through this week, I want you to remember this: make love intentionally, build legacy boldly, and live life fully. Your marriage is a ministry. Your partnership is a gift. Your legacy is unfolding, and your life is meant to be enjoyed. So thank you for joining me today. If this episode has blessed you, and I hope that it has, share it with someone who needs a reminder that they may need to slow down, love deeply, be intentional, and live with joy. Until next time, keep building, keep believing, keep blossoming into everything that God has called you to be.